Hello, and welcome back to the next session of Creating Art Over 70 with Cyan Rufus. The face number 45 of 100 faces, charcoal painting. Between the last session and this session, I did a lot of up close, detailed stuff in the eye areas, in the mouth areas. I just did a lot of detailed stuff that I need to be real tight and close in order to get it. So when I get real tight and close, then my head kind of gets in the way of the actual video. So I did a lot of that between last session and this session. So in this session, we're going to try to just bring it home, meaning I'm going to start concentrating more on the hoodie itself. And understand the hoodie doesn't need a whole lot of detail because the hoodie itself is not the subject. The face is the subject, and the hoodie is just there to help tell the story of that face. So I'm gonna put a whole lot of detail in it, but I do want to put enough detail in it to where you could to see it has some contour to it, some three dimensions to it. It's not just flat on a piece of paper. So I do want to do that. And then after that, I'm probably going to come back and do some highlights, or I might between them and start entering a little bit more highlights in the face, because I just want to illuminate this areas a little bit more, these areas right here, the nose and these sections here, and get little highlights in there so it just looks like there is some sort of a light source coming in, hitting the subject's face. Because I was building in shadowing on this side of the piece in order to imply that. So everything on this side with the mouth sticking out from this area here should be kind of shadowed to some degree with the hoodie itself. So that's what I was trying to do. I got the depth working really well, so the face does look like it's inside of the hoodie. And it was pretty funny how in the beginning, when I was putting it together, I had it looking like I don't know what, it looked like a space helmet or something when I was looking at it. When I stepped back to look at it, I go, no, that's not right. And so I had to keep chiseling away at it till I got it going. Okay, so anyway, that's enough said. Let's just gear up and get busy. Face 45 of 100 faces, charcoal painting. See you in a bit. Thank you so much for watching. Another beautiful day today. I actually was able to get out. My wife and I was able to get out and hit some tennis balls. It's such a beautiful day. It's funny, my daughters sent me some pictures today of the snow on the East Coast. They both live in different parts. One's in the DC area and one's in North Carolina. And they were sharing the snow. I didn't send any pictures back. The sun is like shining brightly. Able to get out and hit some tennis. The dolphins were even passing by today in the ocean. That was kind of cool to see. Get to see them on occasion, but they showed up today. It was really pleasant to see that. Yeah, on the also, other than just filling in, doing a lot of the detail up close and tight on the piece between last session and this session, I noticed and I kind of learned a little bit of something with respect to how to take a look at the piece. Meaning here I use 3 lights. I got one coming from the top, and then I have one on each side, try to break some of the shadows casting from side to side. And so what I did was I was sitting back during the times I sit back and look at the piece and study it and look at what I've done, think about where I want to go, which direction I want to go. And this particular time I turned on, I just had one light on, and it was the side light. And so what I noticed was if I use just one of the side lights and not have all 3 of them while I'm just viewing, it gives the piece a different look. And I was able to see shadowing. I was able to see like shadowing and highlights, how they were hitting the piece. And I was able to notice at a glance from that point what needed work, what was working fine, and what needed more work. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I found a little method, to use. A lot of the artists I've watched, they talk about, squinting to really get to see the shapes. Yeah, and I've tried that method, the squinting, and it works. But yeah, by you turning on one light on the side, that was pretty nice. Very interesting and discovery. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna definitely utilize this more often. We were also able to get out and have some breakfast this morning too. Tennis, some breakfast, then come back and be able to sit down and do some painting. I know there's games on today. It's like, oh, I'm not a real big, I really need to sit down and watch the games person. My wife though, she's like, oh, gotta watch that. I said, okay. So I'll sit and watch it with her. I enjoy the game, don't get me wrong. It's just that right now I really enjoy painting. That's a game I've never played either at all. Maybe flag, when I was younger, some flag stuff and some just fun in the park, guys, family stuff. But that's the extent. I really truly enjoy working with charcoals. I think one of the main things I like about charcoals is that there's really only two colors you have to deal with, black and white. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoy working with pastels, but charcoals are just two colors, black and white. And then for the white charcoal, it's just, if you have a white charcoal, most of the time, I see I'm utilizing the white of the paper mostly, or whatever the paper tone is. Because sometimes I use tone paper to do charcoals, and that's starting like, well, at mid value. Most of the tone papers are mid value. And so then with the blacks, then there's three blacks that I use. One is the hard charcoal pencil, and one is the medium, and the other one is the soft. And the gist of that is how much charcoal is being laid down. With the hard charcoal, there's not a lot that's laid down, so you get a lighter value hitting the paper. And then with the medium, you get a little more pigment coming down on the paper, so you're able to get a darker value. And then with the soft, you get an awful lot of pigment being laid down on the paper, so you get even darker value. Most of the time, the softer the charcoal, the more pigment is laid down, which means you get the darkest value coming off the pencil. And so even with that, it's still necessary to go in and do layering. And with charcoals, all you need is a real strong understanding of the tonal values. And with that, then the sky's the limit, I think. And then the difference with that, and then with the pastels, to be very, very good with them, and I'm finding this out pretty much the hard way, to be very, very good with them, one needs a strong understanding of color theory, which is something I haven't wrapped my mind around totally yet. I take, when I paint with the pastels and the color stuff, I take shortcuts. Yeah, I guess that's because I use the gamut mask, or is it gamut map? I always get that mixed up. So anyway, I use that to identify color schemes. And so with that map, lays out and helps you easily identify complementary colors in different ways. Colors that just seem to work naturally well with each other. And I used it a couple times to do just some pieces, 2-color pieces and things like that, just to see how it worked. And it worked relatively well. You're going to see me do a lot of charcoals because I really enjoy doing charcoals, and it's easier to set up, and I really enjoy the outcome of what the piece has to say. Okay, I think I'm gonna call this a piece. Face number 45 of 100 faces, charcoal painting. I'll call it done. I put a lot of detail in it. I didn't want to go too much detail in the hoodie. I just wanted to represent hoodie, but the main subject matter is the face. So I think we captured that relatively well. So it's time to sign this and move on to the next piece. All right. Okay, done deal. All right. So thank you so much for watching. The 45th Face of 100 Faces was created in art over 70s and signed Rufus. Painting with a passion. See you in the next project. Blessings.